their bloodline, their the way they were grown up is different.
She's Salvadorian.
For her, it's the same shit, bro. Like they have fire in their blood, and they're raised them a certain way, and a, like being a poker player was like that's the problem. Like I didn't have a real job, I didn't have a real place, but you know what? I supported those girls and their parents.
Are you still there? You're cutting in and out.
Hear me? Can you,
Uh,
can you hear me? Can you hear me?
yeah, yeah.
I'm Joe. You
Uh,
don't have to accept any of that.
I know. If it was anyone else, I would have slammed the door shut a long time ago.
It's not your fault, dude. You're not doing anything wrong.
Well, I
Like
well I am.
you're not though. You're not.
Well,
You can only live your life.
how I
You're
responded to
battling,
them was wrong.
bro. Your response is out of line, right?
But it was in
Bro,
response. Yeah, it was in response to an out of line behavior.
I got arrested after I got beat up by my girlfriend's brother and father and mother. I got put in jail because they turned on me and said I started the fight when they beat the shit out of me. And all it was over is that my immature girlfriend couldn't put her parents and get her life in check. And they turned it all on me and blamed me for everything when it had nothing to do with me that her parents were different and my girl was childish. And I had enough. Like, I could barely take care of myself, and now they want me to take care of their daughter. Like I'm not allowed to stay in her house unless we're married. Like that's what happened to me both times. Like you can't even come over for Christmas unless you marry my daughter. Well, I don't want to marry your daughter if she can't even keep you guys in check. Like you can't make all the decisions for our relationship. Like that's what happened both times. Like and I put my foot down, and it almost cost me my freedom both times. You know, like
Yeah.
you don't need to be in that situation, bro. I'm telling you. You might be depressed, you might be lonely, you might not be a ladies' man, but you will find a girl that accepts and appreciates all that shit. And if you don't, then they aren't worthy. You know what I mean? Like
And
I'm not a sexist. I'm not a sexist. I don't believe girls should like hold their man high. I don't believe that like in any of that shit. But you have to have trust, you have to have acceptance, you have to have compassion, and you have to separate your fucking parents from your relationship. If you can't do that, you're fucked. That's my opinion, bro. I'm not telling you to give up. I hope you understand that.
I appreciate it.
But I'm telling you, you have to hold yourself high, and you have to spend time with your family. You have to love yourself first, bro. And it's a lot harder than you think. I mean, I have a girl I love, and I still battle with depression all the time.
I might too if she isn't that sexual. Like Carla is a fucking just like me. Like, well, I'm actually well, I'm actually a little
You
more than
don't
her.
have to be. You
Like
don't have to be, bro. I
what?
had this conversation with my friends in Vegas, and I told them I get laid once every 2 months, and they were like, "Oh no way, I'd be dumping that bitch right away. I get it every day, or
Damn,
she's out, or she's out." And
I
I'm like,
wouldn't lose
"Bro,
my
but I
mind.
don't,
Yeah,
I don't have jealousy. Like my girl doesn't accuse me. I'm never home. She works all day. I play poker all night. She doesn't go through my phone. She doesn't ask me where I was. She doesn't want to know what I was doing. She trusts me. If she went in my phone, I'd fucking lose my mind. And you know what? I don't even care. Like you could pull up my internet, when you pull up the page, like the fucking 31st pages are all porn. If she said something to me about that, I'd be like, listen, take your clothes off and deal with the situation. I'm only looking at porn because you're not giving it to me, and I don't want to harass you about it because I know you don't like to be harassed about it. I'm respecting you. You know, I'm looking at porn because I respect your decisions. You know,
yeah.
Yeah, like it's not cheating. It's not that I want to cheat on her. It's not that I like. Have, have,
Because
I mean,
yeah,
don't get me
you
wrong.
could be doing that with a real person.
Yeah, I could be. And I could be, and you know what? There's times where I've been drunk in my relationship, and I've had girls hit me up, and when I'm drunk, I'll send a dick pic. But you know what? It doesn't mean anything unless you're actually meeting these people and fucking around. It doesn't mean shit. You know, like.
Oh, so
But your situation was different. You're sending her flowers. It's Valentine's Day. You mean but you looked at her phone, bro. You did it to yourself. You know what I mean? Like that's her private stuff.
well,
Like
I actually,
you shouldn't do that.
well, it was a giant relief to me because I finally saw for myself that the person that falsely accused me for years was actually doing these things behind my back while she was accusing
That's
me.
that's always the case, bro. And whenever a girl accuses me of cheating, I want to go out and cheat immediately. You want to accuse me of something I ain't doing? I want to do it now. And you'll learn that's the case. You know what I mean? Like it's none of their fucking business. Like they're supposed to be concentrating on their lives, not what you're doing in your personal life. Like better yourself. Don't worry about me. Like love me for who I am. Love me for what I've done. Like and that's fine. That's fine, bro. I'm just saying, if you love her, let her go. If she wants you, she'll come back. Go get your fucking ring. Go get your fucking carpet. As minuscule as that sounds, they want to play that fucking game. Play that fucking game and explain to her that you don't play games and this is a game. So when she grows up, give me a call. I love you. I'll be there for you.
Well, I unfortunately did play a giant game. So we both played the same game, and we've done this before. We will refuse to be the next person to contact the other. So when I sent her like 5 hours of videos, I'm like, well, I just put in all this. I spent an entire day messaging you. I'm gonna wait for you to respond. Well, that response never came.
That's not
So I'm
that's
like,
not your style,
so
bro.
I,
That's not your style.
yeah.
You're
So
gonna put you're gonna put your heart on the line. I can tell that's the kind of guy you are. That's fine. I'm that way too.
I could have I could have called her and spoken with her live on the phone. We have like super HD video calls if we wanted to, and then or I could have invited her to like lunch or dinner, and spoken to her face to face again. But instead, I'm like I sent her 5 hours of videos. Let's see if I'm worth one phone call from her. And of course, that phone call never came. She didn't say another
Bro, you've
word.
been sick. You've been sick and emotional, dude. That's the worst time to try to have relationship conversations. You don't want to be a needy dude. You know?
And
Like I don't
also,
know. Look at everybody's relationships that work that you've known in your whole life. Like there's acceptance. You know
so
what I mean?
so the night this happened, yeah, I wasn't even recovered from the flu like physically for like an hour. I paid 26 dollars for a COVID test because I thought that's what her and her mom wanted, just to reassure them. And it was negative. And then while I'm getting this COVID test, Carla's like, "Oh, me and my mom just had a huge argument. She doesn't want you at our house. She thinks that you're using us, and she doesn't like your
Oh my
situation.
god, bro.
She doesn't like that you're
She
staying.
needs to stay out of your fucking business, bro.
You're staying in hotel rooms, and I don't. We don't truly know if you're not involved with someone else, and you know and you're sleeping in your car, and somebody could come murder you, and it's just not a good look for you. And
Does she even know you? Like, does Carla really even know you? Because that's not the kind of guy you sound like.
she doesn't, because if she knew me, she would open her eyes and seen that I've poured my life into her for 6.5 years, even when we were broken up for 10.5 months.
Bro, you brought your whole fucking life there and put it in a storage facility for her. Do they think that's for you?
I didn't do
I'm,
this.
I'm just
I
saying,
didn't do this.
bro.
I didn't do the storage until recently, after when I was forced to move out of that house. Um,
You're dropping your whole life for her, dude. It's not fair.
so yeah, I had my own house right across the street from her, and then I couldn't afford 2,000 a month anymore, so I put everything in storage. And then I April 5th, I got a letter saying
You
I,
were a veteran? Did you say you were a veteran?
yeah.
Yeah, well, my best friend is a veteran, and he lives in Vegas, and he advocates for he's an advocator for veterans, bro. I should put you in contact with him because he's being housed under that same program, and he's got a lot of connections within the veterans. He goes on that Wednesday bike ride, you know, the Wounded War or the veterans like building they have out there in Vegas, where everybody comes with food and go for rides and communicate and help each other and stuff. He's part of that.
Okay.
I should put him in touch with you and see if he can help you figure something out. That's what he does.
Yeah, I yeah, now that I think about it, I stayed in let me think. Oh, there's a place called Veterans Village, and um I actually, if I would have put in the effort, I forgot about that. Um I could have gotten a short term. It's technically an apartment. It's they're built into these old motel buildings. You know, it's like 2 stories.
He's in a gated community that helps veterans.
Okay.
Just saying, you have options, dude. You just go down and ask for help down there, dude.
Do you know what it's called? Or if you could, yeah, get me in touch with them.
I'm gonna have my buddy Adam reach out to you. I'm gonna
Okay.
call him and I'm gonna tell him that I have a friend who's a veteran who's in need of some help, and if there's anything he could do, greatly appreciated.
So you're it was Scott, right? The Palazzo bartender.
Scott the Palazzo guy.
Um, so he did. I I think he might have offered me like um 2 weeks on his couch, but it's been way more than 2 weeks now since Carl and I had met him. So that would have just been short term, and but like this is another thing that blows my mind. So Carla got super pissed at me that I didn't take his offer because
You didn't know him, dude. You don't really know him that well, and he's got a new roommate now, so I don't even know if that's possible.
so well, Carla's issue was I never know where you are. You keep changing hotel rooms. She's like, I would have rather you stayed on his couch because at least for 2 weeks I would know where your address. And in my mind, I'm like, does she realize that 2 weeks is still a very short period? And it, like, usually I would get 4 to 5 nights in a row at a hotel. Is there really much of a difference between 14 days and 4 to 5 days? Not really. So, but she made a huge deal out of it. Um, and to the point where she was saying, I think we should take a break from this relationship until you can find a more um, long-term place to live. Or she even wanted me to, for
She's living
example,
with her mom, bro. She lives with her
no,
mom.
no, her mom lives with her. Her mom doesn't pay a dime of rent other than
Oh, well, then her mom needs to grow up. How damn old is she? She
that.
doesn't take care of herself?
Dude. That's the whole reason I blew up on them because her mom is telling Carla in Carla's own home who can stay at Carla's house, including her own fiance, just because her mom has a bitter opinion about me, my situation, and me being a poker
Yeah, well,
player.
her mom's living in her daughter's house. She should keep her opinions to herself. She shouldn't be involved in her relationship. That's like her daughter needs to fucking put that
That's
shit.
that's pure narcissism, trying to
Yeah, bro,
control
it's
your
never
own.
gonna go away, bro. If you see it in her mom and it's still there, it's gonna come down to her too, bro. I'm sorry to tell you that, bro. Apples don't far. I mean, my girlfriend's mother is a fucking godsend. She's a saint. She's the nicest, most kind, loving woman ever. She's never once told her daughter that I need to get my shit in order, and I do. But they stay out of it, you know. Anyways, Brockton, listen. I care about you. If you want to talk, I know we just met, bro, but I care about anybody. All my friends I look out for. It's how I am. That's the kind of dude I am. So if you need to talk to me, feel free to call. I have a contractor slash like good friend here picking up money for me right now.
Okay.
I need to give him his money.
Okay.
Uh, and then I gotta jump in the shower and take care of some business, and I'll try to respond. If you wanna keep texting, feel free. But don't. I'm not trying to step out of line with you here. Okay.
Yeah, and honestly don't waste too much of your life on my situation.
Oh no,
I've been going through this for years. I just wish her and I could have peace and just make love for the rest of our lives, and maybe
yeah.
I want to also see the world, you know, I want to get out there and travel. So if I could do both, I would be a happy man.
Well, real life isn't all peaches and cream, man. Good thing you haven't had kids.
Yeah.
All right, all right. I'll talk to you after.
All right, bye.
Later.
That was Aaron Teeter, Facebook poker friend who was just here in Vegas, and I was so depressed I didn't see him. I deleted Facebook, so he was trying to get a hold of me. Um, it's too bad.